here as they teach us more about you. Amen.
Thanks, Jenna. Okay, so we are going to start with a new song today, and we have worked on this in music class, and I think y'all are going to love singing this today, and I love this. This is God's love that we have practiced, and then we're going to sing our theme verse, Philippians 4:8, and then we're going to go into King of Kings. So if everyone could stand, we're going to start with God's love.
Never
Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and proceed. I think he is about to walk in the door. So I will go ahead and I'm going to introduce him, and I want to tell you a little bit about what we're going to be doing over the next several weeks. So we're going to start a 4-week study on God's love. So for the next 4 weeks, we're going to learn about God's love. So this week, our focus is going to be on love is patient. And I even wore my love shirt today. So today, Mr. Ken Hindman from Bellevue Baptist Church, he is going to be our speaker. And I want to introduce him, and maybe he's going to walk in just miraculously over there. I'm just really hoping and praying he does. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and introduce him. Mr. Ken is from Bellevue Baptist Church. He's been there for 11 years, and he is married to his wife, Christina. They've been married for 30 years. And he has 2 children. Their names are Matt, who is 24, and David, who is 22. So we are going to welcome him when he shows up. And if he doesn't, I have just a little something I figured out. And I will try my best to make it through this. So today we're going to learn about God's love. And we can show love by being patient to one another. And you know what? Miss Dawn has to tell herself this every day. I do not have a lot of patience. And I try. And that's something that I'm working on. I am working on being patient with my own children. I'm trying really hard. So that's something that God's teaching me. And I have been really working on that this year, is patience. So we're going to learn about a story today, the parable of the lost son. And we are going to learn about how God's love is shown through patience. Miss Amy, do you have that verse? Yeah, we'll just go ahead and read this. Do you all know if he's here? Oh, he's here. Oh, yes. Okay. I'll tell you what, I'll go ahead and read this while he makes his way in. Okay, so this is from 1 Corinthians 13. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. Say that with me. Love never fails. Say it again. Love never fails. And that's found in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 8. Welcome, Mr. Ken. Y'all welcome him.
Hello, boys and girls. My name is Ken. I'm honored to be here today, and I get to talk to you about this passage of Scripture. Now, this is my Bible where I teach every week boys and girls just like you. You want me to use that? Not loud enough? I teach boys and girls just like you using this Bible. So I marked this passage this morning so that you know that what I'm talking about is truth. It isn't made up. And it said, love is patient. Now, a lot of you don't know me. I actually live less than 6 miles from your school. I live right down Highway 14. If you go down there under the interstate and turn to the left, I live on Ricks Road. I have 2 dogs. One's named Bama, and one is named Teddy. And I have to have a lot of patience dealing with those dogs. And then we have Mama Kitty, who just last week became Grandmama Kitty, and I'm not going to talk about that. But I have to have lots of patience. But the thing that I have the most patience with is related to a prayer request that I've prayed for 4 years. You see, you don't know my family. I'm married to Miss Christina. She's my wife. We've been married for 30 years. Are any of you in here 30 years old? You're not 30. Come on, I wish you were 30, but you're not 30. You'll be there quickly. And then we have 2 boys. One boy's named Matt. He's 24 years old, and the other boy is named David. And my patience for this prayer request has gone on for 4 years. I've been praying the same prayer. God, please heal Mac's body. You see, because on June the 30th, 2020, about 11:15 at night, my wife and I got the phone call that none of you would ever want to get. On the other end of the line, a young man said, "Hey, this is," and he identified himself. He said, "Your son is at our house and there's been an accident and you need to come quickly." We got in our car, we rushed about 7 miles down the road in Arlington, and we turned the road down the street and we saw 11 different cop cars, ambulances, and everything. We went in, we walked to an ambulance where they had already strapped my son's body to a flatboard. His arms were laid out like this, and they had IVs in both of his arms. And I said, "May I speak to him?" He said, "Sure." I stepped up in the ambulance, and I said, "Hey, Mac." He said, "Hey, Dad." I said, "I want to pray for you." I said a short prayer asking God the Father to please take care of my child. He wasn't a baby anymore. He was 20 years old at the time. But I still pray, God, take care of my son's body. They left. They drove to Regional 1 Medical Center in Memphis. And we waited outside the hospital until they came and got us. And they took us in a room. And a doctor came in and she said, "Do you know what happened to your son?" I said, "All we know is that there was an accident in a swimming pool." You see, my son made a mistake. He dove headfirst into a swimming pool without knowing what was under the water. And instantly, it changed our family's life forever. That quick. And for the last 4 years, I have waited patiently with lots of love as a dad for God to heal my son's body. The doctor came in and she said, "Well, I hate to tell you, but your son is now a quadriplegic." Can you say quadriplegic? Quadriplegic. You may not know what that word means, and I certainly didn't know as a father, but I know now. It means that my son is paralyzed from the chest down. Nothing on his body can move. Nothing works correctly. My son rolls everywhere he goes in a wheelchair. All because he made a mistake at a swimming pool. Now, if I ask you guys, how many of you have ever gone swimming? You'd probably all raise your hand. Put your hands down. How many of you have ever heard your parents say, "Be careful"?
Oh my God.
Oh my, yes, I know. Well, listen, boys, and listen, young ladies, you better listen to your parents, because that quickly our lives were changed. In the last 4 years, I've watched my child go through surgery after surgery. I've watched my son deal with so many issues where he can't even feed himself, where he can't brush his teeth, where he can't comb his hair, he can't put on his clothes, he can't even turn himself over in the bed. We have to do all of that for him. But love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. It does not boast. For me, as his father, the hardest verse is love is patient. I started 4 years ago praying the same prayer. And as I finish today, I want to help you understand. The prayer that I prayed is, God, heal Mac's body from the top of his head to the tips of his fingers to the bottom of his toes. Today, God hasn't answered my prayer, but I'm going to continue to pray that prayer, because love is patient. Love is kind. Love I want it instantly. I want it instantly. Do we need to evacuate? Just want to make sure. I don't want to be patient on that. As I get finished, before I pray with you and turn things back over to Miss Dawn, I want you to hear two things from me. One, love is patient. Can you say love is patient? Number two. Love precious little children. Number two. Are you ready? Number one is love is patient. Number two is be careful in the swimming pool. You're laughing, but that's probably a more important message for my family than I've ever given anybody, because I want you to be careful. A swimming pool changed our family's life that quickly. My son is still educating himself. He is fine from here up. He has his brain, he has his knowledge. He's about to graduate from Christian Brothers University with a degree in marketing and management. And we don't know what God has in store. But boy, I wish he could walk. And boy, I wish he could run like you. And boy, I wish he could use his arms to feed himself. I don't understand why, but God knows. My job is to be patient and wait on the Lord. Can I pray with you? Father, thank you for every boy and every girl that is here today. God, sometimes we don't know why things happen in our lives. I certainly don't know why Matt had to dive in that pool and hurt his back. It changed his life forever. But God, I know that I've learned over the last 4 years that love is patient. And I, as his father, can continually meet his needs and to continually ask you to heal his body. Heal his body from the top of his head to the tips of his fingers to the bottom of his toes and all in between. Now, God, I ask that you will help these boys and girls to listen carefully to what I've said and always be careful around a swimming pool. God, I also pray that today you'll help us to follow directions of our teachers. Help us to listen more with our ears than we talk with our mouths. Help us to learn everything you put before us. Thank you so much for Tipton-Rosemark and for the way that they're educating the next generation. God, I pray a special blessing on every child and every teacher in this room. And we ask all of these things in your name. Amen.
Hey, let's tell Mr. Ken thank you. Say thank you so much, Mr. Ken, and thank you for driving out here. Thank you so much. So what did we learn today? Love is patient. So next week, we're going to pick up and we're going to learn something new. Okay, so Jenna Phelps is going to come. She's going to close us in a word of prayer. Everyone can bow your head and close your eyes.
Thank you for being patient with us when we stumble. Help us to be patient with one another. Be with us as we go through the rest of our day. Use your hand to guide us. Amen.
You're dismissed. Thank you.